Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. And over here, we got Denise. What's up, Denise? How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. And down there, if you can hear me, down here, is Mr. Heisenberg. What's up, buddy?
Beep, 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 pop, 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 beep, 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 beep.
That's all we're going to do is just talk like R2D2 tonight.
Droid talk. I didn't say anything bad about y'all's mothers just now. I promise.
Oh my gosh. Good times. So that's the show. Have a good night. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Special guest. Super excited. We had her on the Paranormal Roundtable a couple weeks ago. It's cool to have her solo. Yeah. Han Solo. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Solo.
Favorite. I'm a scruffy looking nerf herder sometimes.
Nice. Miss Ashley Storm, how are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. I'm really kind of sad that Denise just was like, I'm good. She seems
sorry.
She seems so sad.
I'm having computer issues.
It was making me sad. I'm having heat issues. I told you I'm about to melt.
How hot is it down there right now where you guys are?
Like 97, 98, which isn't bad, but I mean that just the sun is nothing but just nasty. And it's dry heat. Everybody's like, it's so humid. I'm like, you haven't lived near water on a bayou because it's not humid. Trust me. I actually like humid weather. Like I could do humid hot, but this dry hot, I'm like, I feel like an egg. I'm about to fry. And that's saying something because I don't ever get hot, but Texas gets to me sometimes.
Yeah. We're actually pretty nice up here in Ohio. We're like, what, 75, 79? I think was the high today.
Beautiful.
No humidity, just freaking beautiful.
She told me about y'all's winters, so that's that negates the whole. We have nice summers, but you have fucking horrible winters. So no, thank you.
Right.
I've seen The Shining. You ain't finna get me trapped in with my murdered. Hell no.
Right.
I showed her the pictures at the seminary where the inside walls were frozen in the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Just why? One of my kids, when I teach pre-K, and one of my kids, one time we were doing igloos, and how people build them and stuff, and he goes, my mom won't even let us leave the fan on. These people are crazy. And it's just, I don't know why, but every single time I think about that, I'm just glad I don't have to live anywhere cold. Like I complain about this 100-degree weather, but I take that any day over anything that's like under 40 degrees. I'm good. You can keep the snow, you can keep the frozen stuff, the slushy stuff, I can see my breath when I talk.
We also we have no tornadoes, we have no mudslides, we have no hurricanes, we have nothing. It's not bad.
See, you say that, but then I'm gonna move up there and it's gonna be like trifecta. You get you get it all. Because I swear to God, my whole entire life, I've lived in Guam where we had typhoons constantly. Like we had months where we went without power or electricity. Our showers were in this huge metal tub, and we had to pour water over us and then boil the water for somebody else to use it again for months at a time.
God.
Yeah, but we got to swim all the time when we were in school because we didn't have any power. So what are we going to do? Go swimming. And then in Louisiana, we had hurricanes all the time. And now we live in Texas. And I was like, we're far away from the water. We're safe from everything finally. And then one time I heard the big tornado siren things.
Yeah.
And that shows you how often I've ever heard that in my life that I don't even know what the fuck it sounds like. I just know it was loud as shit and it scared me. And I'm sitting in school because apparently they test them every first Wednesday of the month. And nobody told me that. No. So I was looking around, and the only time I'd ever heard that was when I had played Silent Hill.
Oh,
the raid sirens kind of. So I was like, shit, this is zombie apocalypse. Like, what? I was freaking out. And everybody's like, it's just a tornado siren. I was like, there's tornadoes here? And that freaked me out more than the zombie apocalypse did. Because I was like, I could shoot a zombie. I can't shoot a tornado.
Right.
How about that attitude?
That's crazy. I'm like, You must be able to hear now because you're interjecting into the conversation.
I just heard
Yeah.
shoot a tornado, so I just threw that in there. Or can't shoot a tornado.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I heard.
That's funny.
So Ashley, why don't you, just in case there's some people watching that maybe aren't familiar with Ashley Storm, I don't know who that would be because everybody knows
Who
Ashley.
doesn't know Ashley?
Lots of people. Y'all are tripping.
The A-lister paraceleb Ashley Storm.
Dude,
We had to pay big money for her to be on the show
Right.
tonight.
$100 billion.
Yes. Whoa.
No, we don't bite the kitty, me.
Right.
No, just a little nibble. No.
But why don't you give us a bit of your origin story? How did you get you have like a crazy history already just from the Guam story already. I mean, my gosh.
See,
But
and that's
how
one thing that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. That just we
No, go ahead.
brought that up, and nobody ever brings that up about.
Yeah, no,
You
tell
know,
us because
my
I had no
background.
idea. I just thought you were a
And-
Southern Belle.
nah, yeah, I call you darling and sweetheart, but I'm really more of an island person. If you can't tell by my skin color, just because I live in Texas, y'all. Just a warning. I do speak Spanish though, but
Okay.
So the Guam thing is like just a huge part of why. I guess not that I got into it, but why I feel like everybody can kind of learn to live amongst the spirits rather than always trying to cleanse them, get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a constant battle to this is my space, this is your space, instead of living kind of as one. Because in Guam, that's exactly what they do. Kind of in a negative way, if you want to think about it like that. But our ancestors, the Tatamonas, which are the ancestors of our island. So Japan and Spain actually raided and colonized Guam multiple times. And one of the Japanese raids, they made all of the men, like boys, anybody who had a wang, go up into the cave at the top of Mariso Hill, where elementary school actually was, and slaughtered them all. And so we have a lot of Hispanic and different, like what you would hear in like Filipino cultures and stuff. We have a lot of those same last names because of the Asian and Spaniard influences in those islands from them constantly coming and doing raids and setting up territories and stuff. So the ancestors, which are the Tatamonas, are those gentlemen who constantly got killed over time. All of our ancestors that got slaughtered. And they are the protectors of the island. Now, if you guys have ever watched Josh Gates, the Expedition Unknown thing they used to do.
Yeah.
There was an episode and this, like I like him as like an adventurer and an explorer, but this episode in particular just made me scream freaking howlies. That's what we call white people. And that's not like a derogatory term. It's just literally like you're white. And my whole family, we sat there and watched it and we're like, freaking howly. That's not what it is. He calls them Guam zombies. First, they're not like walking entities. They're not like,
Right.
Yeah.
No, they're entities of our ancestors. And if you disrespect the land, like we have lots of rules that we have to follow. If you don't follow those rules, especially mainlanders who come over to visit and stuff, they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of hokey folklore, whatever. We're not going to listen. And then they regret not listening. Tourists, well, anybody naturally knows you spray your diaper. A baby's diaper does not go in a public place without their scent being covered because the tatomona will come and pinch them all over. And I've actually had that happen. 2 cousins of mine, like just randomly that night or the next day, have huge pinch marks, and it doesn't look like a human finger. It's like it's bigger.
Yeah.
It's monstrous, and it happens all the time. We had, white people who came because it's a huge military base, naval, Marine, Army, and I'm pretty sure there's a huge Air Force base out there still now. But they didn't believe in it. So one of the ladies came back. She's like, so what do I do the next day? Because my aunt told her when they were at a baseball park, spray it. That way it doesn't come after your baby. And she's like, whatever. Throws it away. Comes back the next day and it's like, what do I do? Because my baby's covered in bruises. This lady was absolutely freaked out. And I was like 6 years old. And I was like, should have listened. Like, I knew to spray it. You should have sprayed it. But his team actually got attacked because they touched a bunelas tree, which is called a fire tree in, I guess, English or however it's translated. But the fire trees actually hold the spirits of the Tatamona. So do the Laddie stones, which I actually have one on my foot. But the Laddie stones are these huge stone, kind of hourglass-looking figures, which also hold all of the energy of the island, basically. So if you touch the Laddie stones, you touch the Pinellas trees, you get attacked by the Tatamonas. And when I say attacked, I mean you start foaming at the mouth, running. I think the highest they ever recorded was like 109 fever-wise, scratches all down your back and stuff. And one of the girls from his show tied the rope to rappel down into one of the little caverns they had on the Pinellas tree. And they were like, should you not touch that? They told us not to. And she's like, it'll be fine. So everybody else goes down. She's the last one. And halfway down, her rope breaks. Like, you guys can go and watch this episode. All this shit all happens. Her rope breaks and she falls. Then come to find out, like months later, they had gone back to the States and she was still suffering from all of these different mental and physical illnesses, like the foaming at the mouth, the fever. Like, no doctors could figure out what was going on. She went back to Guam to get blessed by a medicine woman. When I was little, we didn't go to doctors. I went to a medicine woman up on the hill near the cave where they slaughtered everybody. Yeah. And we got like green stuff and mixtures put on our face or had to eat weird bitter stuff, but we never went to doctors. And I grew up in a very, everything's spooky. It's almost like voodoo, but its own subset of it. And I don't know. It's freaking awesome. I love growing up like that. And then we go stateside where it's very hush hush. Nobody talks about it. In Guam, everybody talks about it. In New Orleans, until you get older, you know, and you're like out in Bourbon Street, people are drunk like, this is a haunted hotel or this is a haunted bar. But when you're little, people are like, that's fucking weird. Please don't come near us again. Because I was like, you guys see that little kid standing in the middle of the field? Like, what? No, what's wrong with you? I don't know. It's okay though. You guys will play with me now.
So Tori said hi. He's in Facebook jail. He just messaged me.
Tony Santori's in Facebook jail?
Yeah.
What did he do? Tony.
Right.
He called somebody a racist or something, and then they got in trouble. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, jeez. Love you, Uncle Tony.
Ashley, when did you move here from Guam?
Yeah.
I moved to St. Bernard Parish, which is like 20 minutes outside of New Orleans, when I was 8 or 9. And we only moved here because I had actually gotten a subdural hematoma the last day of my 3rd grade year. We were outside playing, and when I was young, I mean, I was tall, but I was just like a little beanpole. And I was playing with a girl who was a little bit heftier than me, and we were playing tag, and she didn't tag me. She like full on like sent me flying, and when I fell, I hit my head on the concrete, like right where it comes up from the grass. Yeah. And got a subdural hematoma, but they didn't know until like 2 days later after they took me to the doctor finally. And I went into a sleep-induced coma for 2 weeks. That way it didn't grow and I wouldn't die. So that's actually a big part of it too. Though, is like after that, I always saw stuff and had those experiences, but after that, it was completely different. And I was co-hosting with, I can't even remember now. I was co-hosting with, I think it was Shay Carroll for Paranormal Buzz Radio. And we were talking to a guy about his near-death experiences. He writes books and does seminars and stuff. And I had never shared this with anybody, but this basically the same exact instance that he had happened to him in that moment where he felt like he was about to cross over or whatever. The slab that he saw, that slab that he described himself, seeing himself on. It was like, have you guys ever seen the old kind of middle-aged stone pillars or mortars where they would lay bodies up on before they'd burn them or do the ceremonial things? It was like that. You see yourself laying on one of those in just a room that's nothing but this pure white light. And you see yourself in the middle of this slab. Wow. And that was it. And I, for the first time in my life, like actually shut my mouth because I was so like taken aback by him saying that he saw the same exact thing. So it's not just that's how my mind perceived it, because I always thought that's what happened. Everybody has their own way of seeing it, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. Like we might all actually go through the same motions when we're at death's doorstep. Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah. Thank God I've never been that close to find out.
Right?
Oh my God. That's
like it sounds cool, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, right.
Good.
I completely believe you. That's an amazing story. But so I mean,
I heard like 2 words out of it.
I was wondering why he's being so quiet. Part of why I wanted to come on the show so much is because you're such a dick to everyone, and it's hilarious. Like, I want to be the target of some of your ridicule and whatnot. Like, don't be too mean though, because I will Facebook report you quick. End up in jail like Tony. Watch me.
Oh, geez.
I heard Target Facebook report and.
See, now I think he's just messing with me. See, and I need to address that first, though. He's always like, she never says hi every time I come in, and I'm like, hey, Goose, hey, D-Nice. After I say, hey, fam, which includes all 3 of y'all, right. But I don't ever type your name because it always changes it to Eisenberg. No matter how many times I typed Heisenberg, and I'm so tired of that shit. So I'm just like, hey, fam. And then I just goose him and D-Nice her because it was funny, but you always be getting butthurt. Don't worry, you're part of this too.
Did she say my name? I heard Heisenberg.
Bitch.
Is she starting shit already? That's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna interject some stuff now.
I can't wait for him to go back and listen to this. Like, I need him to listen to that exact part, so I can talk shit about him without him even really knowing. This is gonna be so much fun.
Right.
Yeah. And just
smile. Move me around. Move me around.
What?
That works sometimes.
Move you around? Okay.
That's racist. Right. He just doesn't want to be next to me.
Well, he's still stuck to you. Can you hear us now?
We're in the same spot.
All right. Well, let me remove Denise. I'll remove you.
Oh, no.
And then what do I do now? Put him up there. Him over there. Oh, shit! I moved. It changed me and Denise.
Right.
Oh, God.
That's fine.
Can you hear us now?
Is that better?
Can you hear us?
So you didn't invite me to the Paranormal Roundtable, first of all. Now you
Wait,
won't
aren't
move
you
me
a part
around
of the fucking show you do?
Right?
You maroon.
Oh, that was
You guys all froze. That was awesome. Like I was just talking to a wall.
Right. Oh, jeez.
So if you guys have any questions for Ashley, I guess regarding anything at this point,
right?
Feel free to ask. Like, what what's your quarantine dinner? What's your favorite dinner during quarantine? Whatever.
Y'all have seen the shit I cook. It's not just one thing.
I know.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Ooh.
I'm waiting for the paranormal cooking show.
See, now I told David Childers after that interview that I did with him and Gene, and they got me to do Elmo. I told him I was going to start a YouTube channel called Paranormal, where I'm Elmo, but a paranormal investigator. This motherfucker. Now I know he can hear us. He's just doing this for the fuck of it. I know he can hear us.
We just lost him completely.
I know he can hear us. I'm going to drive all the way up there just to kick his ass. I know he can hear us.
I don't know. It's 70 degrees. It's a little cold for you up here.
Right.
I don't know. Do y'all see this? Like that's not like make. I don't wear makeup. That's sweat, y'all. That's not a highlighter. that's my soul glow.
All right. Did it work now?
Did she say
shit? I'm Are You Median? Yeah, buddy. That's what I use for my nappy ass hair. Just let your soul glow. Got to put the plastic.
I feel like she's quoting Coming to America, and I can't hear it. It's driving me nuts.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's not whoever. I don't know how to change this. I never do. Are You Media Network right now commenting. I do that all the time. I'll be commenting on your show like just as a watcher, and I'm like, sorry y'all. Here we go.
My bad.
All right, I think I can hear now.
Yay.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
So Para Elmo.
Oh yeah, but Paranormal.
Oh,
So it's like paranormal, but Paranormal. So
Okay.
I'd go around like Elmo, fucking shit up in haunted locations. And it'd be like the best thing ever because I have nothing better to do with my time.
I like how you say, "Oh, they forced me to do Elmo." Like it was real hard to twist your arm.
First of all, milady,
you know you're good at it. You'll do it anytime.
I'm good at it, but you saw the edited version where they sat there for like 5 minutes trying to get me to do it, and I was like, fine. And that's why David now pops up on every single thing that I'm on and is like, do the Elmo. And I sent you my Cookie Monster because I was like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a one horse show right now, you know. I'm trying to do more than just Elmo.
So do the Elmo.
Bully.
Do it.
Peer pressure.
Let the hate flow through.
Did you say bully? Are we talking in early 1900s speak now?
No, we're
Bully
talking
for
about
you.
you.
Oh. Then that's right.
Okay.
That's about right.
All right. I always call you the devil's advocate for a reason. Okay. I have to deal with one of them out. What do you want me to say?
Whatever.
Say thanks for watching the Cryptic Paranormal show.
There you go.
Hey, all you spooky peoples out there. Make sure you keep watching the Cryptic Paranormal show with Elmo, your best friend, and Dorothy, too. Don't you love it, Dorothy? Look, Dorothy's imagining Elmo being a paranormal investigator. Yay!
What the fuck is going on?
So glad you're a mom.
Bravo.
You have no idea.
Bravo.
I'm bowing, but you can't see it. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I love it.
See, but that's the worst part, though, is I'll be all by myself. Like, I finally get my me time, and I'm
What's
sitting there
that?
like la 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 la, or I'm sitting there singing the Cookie Monster Friend song, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Listen to some gangster rap while you can, bitch. Stop all that. I'll just be singing Elmo all the time and Cookie Monster and everything Sesame Street and just being like, rubber ducky, you're the one. Boom, boom, boom. It's horrible. I'm just sitting there trying to actually like have adult time, and I can't do it anymore. Everything's yes. I sit there just staring at pictures of him or videos of him because he's asleep, and I'm like, wake up, because I want to mess with you more.
Do you ever have you ever dropped him off anywhere yet? Because that's trouble.
Well, I had to go back to work 2 weeks after I had him, so he went with my mother-in-law, and he started going by my mom's, which is awesome because at that age, like, he's not to the point where he's going to, when I started it wasn't when he actively noticed like I was going to be missing, really, before they get that facial recognition that, you know, you're you and stuff. And he'd be perfectly fine without me. And it would only be for like 4 or 5 hours a day. But then it got to the point where when I do the broken bow thing overnight, my mom was like, I'll keep him. And he loves spending time with them. Like, he gets 1 day a week where he's somebody else's for like 7 hours. And he gets so much out of it, I think, because when we see these people, it can be like weeks before we see them, but he gets that good quality time with them that it doesn't matter. Because he's gotten to the point where he recognizes strangers and will start screaming bloody murder if you haven't come over and seen him and spent enough time with them. Oh, it's bad. And he'll do the, like, get them away from me, like, I don't want to. And his scream is not like a scream. His scream is a, growl.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
He's my child. Did you think he'd do anything normally?
No, but with all the pictures, I didn't even think he had bad moods. I thought he was just always so happy and smiling. And
it's super brief. Like that's really the only time he gets not mad. It's like I don't like this. You know, it's not like I'm angry. It's just that this is not what I like, so let's not do it. And the only time he really gets actually upset is when he's hungry. But y'all have seen how chunky he is, so you know that ain't no damn lie. That boy is all.
He's not starving.
He's already learned how to sign eat because I started doing that with him since he was born. And now when he sees his food, he goes. Yeah. And sits there going, nah, until
or is this
eats.
More.
Yeah.
More. Our daughters, the preschool they went to, they taught them the same thing. So they'd be eating it. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't have any food in your mouth. They're trying to tell me I need food. So I'm just like watching, like, what? Are you Italian?
I got something on my lip. What?
Hey, Dad.
TC yells at him and goes, use your words.
What are you doing? What is this? What?
You too.
Oh, holy shit.
What the hell are you guys doing?
They should probably let the parents know.
He's like, what the fuck is going on here, y'all? Oh.
We're catching tiny butterflies. Catch them.
This is how you catch ghosts. Here, ghosty. Here.
And then you eat them. Look at his face.
And you squish him. Squish him real good.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't even know.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody.
Had to give him his minute.
Holy cow.
We've really gone off track. My God. But I needed this.
The story where you almost died. So
you went from like super
back on track.
Super left field. We're laughing. She's like, let's talk about when you almost died.
Yeah, let's get back to that. That was like 15 minutes ago. That was the last time we were on track. So did you just wake yourself up when you saw yourself on the table? What happened?
No. Okay. I try not to get emotional when I talk about it because honestly, it was something that I kind of just never really thought about, until I got older, especially after learning how to kind of hone my skill. And you have to deal with like past tragedies and past traumas and stuff. You have to face that stuff head on when you're trying to clear yourself and cleanse yourself enough to be able to tap into what you need to. And the last thing I remember before waking up in the hospital was falling asleep on my front porch because I was supposed to take the bus to my babysitters apparently, but I had forgotten. And I just went to my house instead, and my mom found me asleep on the front porch. And then I remember waking up in the hospital. But in between I'm trying to just think of how to describe it with something. Okay, here, this is actually perfect. Okay, so it started off, and I don't know when this happened because, again, I was out for 2 weeks, so I have no idea how long into me being in that coma it happened or anything or how long it lasted. But, like, in the middle of a room, oh, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Here we go. In the middle of a room, there's just, like, that altar, that stone medieval type looking altar. My body was on it, but I was clothed in like all white, just a pure white. And it was not like a dress. It was like kind of like pants and a shirt. And the whole entire room is this pure white. I'm talking like brighter than those douchebags with the big trucks and the LED lights, like bright. Okay. And I remember that before that, light hurt my head. I couldn't look, like it made my head hurt so bad after I'd gotten up. And then the light didn't hurt anymore. And it felt warm. It felt like home. Like it should have been scary to see myself, like, especially being that young. I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing yourself basically dead because I wasn't moving. I was laying there like I was sleeping, kind of.
Mhm.
And it didn't freak me out. It didn't make me like want to run. I didn't have like a flight instinct. It was just a stay and keep feeling this warmth. I literally felt like, when the sun's beating down on you, that
Yeah.
just pure energy that you feel. And then it lasted. I felt like I was in that room for days and days, but just standing there. Didn't move, didn't eat, didn't drink, nothing. Just standing there watching myself. And then woke up to the light hurting my head again. And it sucked. And I was mad. And I wanted to go back to the place that was nice light. I remember being really mad about that when I woke up. I wanted to be in the place with the nice light, not the hurtful light.
Wow.
How much
and to that day, I still haven't felt that same. Like even when you're standing in the sun, you can't recreate that. I say it's like the warmth of the sun, but it's just, it doesn't, that intensity is not enough. Like you'd stand out there for like an hour. 'Cause trust me, I'm out in the sun a lot. You can see, but you can't recreate that. It's a very different intensity. It's not just heat. It's just like when you're in a location, everything's focused on, that kind of electricity almost, that a focused energy.
Wow. And how crazy to hear that from that guy too, for him to say the same thing.
His was way more intricate though, because he had actually had a near-death experience. He wasn't, like, there was nothing physically wrong with him to where he would have been near death. I don't think everything was operable, but he had fallen underneath one of the railroad cars in London.
Oh God.
Like one of them started going before it should have, I guess, and he and his friend actually fell out underneath the carriage, and he said it all like stopped in a split second, and he thought about all the TV shows he's ever watched, and they all duck when a train comes, and he said he doesn't know how he had time to do that, because when they went back on the video, there was like 0.2 seconds between when he fell and when the train started going, and he doesn't know how it felt like it was 10 minutes in between. It's like he had time to react to it. But when that happened to him, I guess he had gone into shock in the hospital. And when he was in his bed, he saw like all different types of life forms around him. He saw Native American women. He saw like alien women. There's a motherfucking spider.
You saw a spider?
I don't do spiders. No, there's one right here on my cord. Y'all, I do ghosts. I do gators. I do sharks. Guess what motherfucker does not do? Spiders, because they can crawl up in your ear and lay
fried
bugs.
Chicken?
Oh my God, stop. Don't talk about that.
I'm just saying. Don't worry, he's dead. He won't get into your ear or mine.
God.
Oh shit. Woo. Anyway, so yeah.
Somebody say
He almost
Spider-Man?
died.
No.
Yes, Spider-Man.
Spider pig. Spider.
Yeah, just every 10 minutes, just scream something that you think you heard. And we will confirm or deny. No, we will confirm it either way. How much of that experience, though, do you think attributes to your infatuation, the paranormal, and like your ability your high sensitivity ability? I mean, do you think that's where it started for you, or is it before that?
No, because like I said, I've always like seen them and been able to like interact with them. But after that, it definitely got to the point where it wasn't just random. It wasn't the little glimpses of people here and there, and they're like looking back and them not being there anymore.
Yeah.
It was people full on, and sometimes like 7, 8, 9 of them at a time flooding in. And I'm saying, when you're 8, 9 years old and you have 9 dead people in your fucking room, you're not sleeping. My mom used to have to sit in my room until about 2 or 3. I've always had trouble sleeping because of this. It wasn't until I was a teenager and I kind of learned how to handle it better. I've always been afraid. I still sleep with the light on because people still come to me constantly. I will have random passers through, and it doesn't freak me out as much to wake up when the light's on and see people as it does when you see shadows of people in the dark, because there is like a little night light for Oliver. So when that's on, it's even creepier. So I keep like a whole ass light on for me because I don't like being woken up like that. It's very shaky. And even though it happens all the time, it's something you really never get used to. And it did. It got way worse. And I don't know why. But that's part of why I want to do I want to know why the hell it happens. Yeah. Because I stayed silent about it for so long. And I feel like I'm so much happier now that I have people like to talk about these things with, because I'm not the only one that experiences it, you know? Right. I've legit thought that I was crazy for the long. I was like, I need to be in a nut house. Like, I know we joke about that all the time, but I struggled with this for a very long time. Yeah. I mean, I would sit up at night, like crying myself to sleep basically, because I was like, I keep hearing people, I keep seeing people. There's something wrong with me in my head. At a certain point, I was like, these aren't spirits, these aren't ghosts. It's not what it was back on Guam. Like, there's something really wrong with me. And so talking about it and figuring these things out like together, because if we keep sharing these stories, who knows how many other people have the same exact instances happening to them, or why that gate opened for them. Because a lot of the people that I've met in this field, their mediumship and that clairvoyancy started after a near-death experience they had when they were younger or older. A lot of them, that's the way they ended up getting it. Like Sandra, really cool. I think Janice was one of them too. Russ is sensitive because of that. A shit ton of people.
That's really cool.
I don't want to do the whole list because that's a lot.
Catherine says pregnancies enhance our abilities even more. Oh shit.
Yes, and she had to kind of calm me down. That's actually Catherine works for the Warren Legacy Foundation, and honestly, like, had it not been for her about, what was it, Catherine, like 2 months ago, I honestly probably would have lost my shit. Yeah, Steve, he's wearing the Archive of the Afterlife shirt.
Yeah, I'm representing, buddy.
I need you to make onesies. I don't buy anything. I never buy shit for myself, so it's not that I don't want to support you guys. It's just I would never do that.
Oh, we're showing shirts, right?
Though,
yeah, Mid Heisenberg.
I'll do this one for Kimmel.
There you go. Nice.
Wait, there we
Love
go.
It.
I had to do a little but shit, what were we talking about? Motherfucking
pregnancy.
Oh, but her that was very hard to get used to. And because, and I didn't know this, I just thought like my spirit guides were there because they were attached to me that way. I didn't know we all like were born with them and I didn't know that that's how that worked. So when I got pregnant, I had 2 more white lights with me than normal, and I couldn't figure out why, because they're my 2 that are like always there. And then there were 2 extras, and I had no idea why. And everybody that, you know, has this ability, I was like, okay, did this ever happen to you when you were pregnant? And everybody's like, yeah, it's part of it. You can see their spirit guides. And I was like, it's weird to me that everybody's just like, this is so normal after being so like quiet and just contained about it my whole life. They're like, no, don't worry about it. It was completely expected. Nobody wrote like the paranormal pregnancy medium guideline book. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. The activity actually ramped up while I was pregnant, and then much more after he was born, because I had like family members and friends that I had pass away and everything coming to visit him. I have so much footage of his nursery where Goose is pregnant. What? Who's typing? I'm so confused. We're all RU Media Network.
No,
that was.
I just like to throw.
Was that you?
Yeah. No, I didn't write it. I don't know who wrote that. But I had to put it up.
Wait, what? Oh man! But I have so much footage from his nursery where I'll start feeling like somebody's around us. I get like my spidey senses start going, like when something's about to come or someone's about to come visit or something. And so I'll turn it on and start recording. And then you see like not an orb, not a mist figure, like an actual like like a person.
Yeah. The
outline of a person come and go up to his crib and just sit there and like go over him and then turn into a ball of light and then shoot down into his crib.
No.
Constantly. Those were just friends and family members, though, that were visiting him. But I had to be aware of that because I was freaked out The first 2 weeks, I had stuff flying off of shelves, and I was like, "There's something bad going on." They're like, "No, they're trying to get your attention because everybody wants to see the baby." And I was like, "Well, line up, motherfuckers, but stop knocking my shit down. That's expensive. Like, that's my porcelain. Fuck." Hell no.
Wow.
But that goes back though to her grounding me, because there's so much that you don't like understand about it yourself. Like when you have this ability, there's still so much that I don't know how to do. There are people who say that they can, when I was talking to Kathy and her daughter, you know, they can apparently like turn it off. I still to this day cannot turn it off. It's like the harder I try and turn it off, the louder they get, because they're like, "No, bitch, not today." And so I have to deal with it and then kind of let it die down. There's no break really for me. I don't have like a shield or whatever the hell they have, and I can try the same things, but it doesn't work the same way for everybody apparently. So you just got to find your groove. And I'm like, well, is it going to take 50 years for me to find my groove? Because I might not be able to do it for that long. So I literally, I thought I was losing my shit though, because apparently the more in tune with that power that you have gets, the more emotions flooded. And I'm already a person, like I can look at somebody and know exactly what they're feeling. People that I've never even really met before, but are on Facebook with us. There's sometimes I get a bad feeling about them. Like my spirit guide like gives me their face. I get either faces or numbers and know who to reach out to and be like, "Are you okay?" Because sometimes people just need to be asked if they're okay. Some people just need to hear like, "Hey, love you. You know, hope you have a good day." And that changes something for somebody so immensely. And when the COVID thing first started happening, I'm not like a big go out person. I'll do concerts, but that's pretty much like as big as I'll get crowd wise. And I have to mentally prep myself for that. But I would be driving and start feeling everybody. So it wasn't like I'm interacting with them, so I feel it. I could just be driving. I was on the road and just would get 70 different feelings all at once, and hearing different people talking and things, and just be completely overwhelmed. And then one day, me, TC, and Ollie were driving to my mom's, and I was driving, and we saw a car accident. And all of a sudden, I just start like hearing this little boy screaming. Oh no! And my back and my right leg are just like on fire, and just like sharp burning pains. And I had to stop because I was like in tears. We were at a stoplight because it was at the actual intersection. And so we stopped, and T had to get around and go into the driver's side because I was just overwhelmed. Then come to find out later that little boy actually had died and lost, like he was trapped in the car. Wow. And it was those areas that, like he was trapped and they couldn't get him out. The car was an SUV, and it was like an accordion when it's actually closed. Oh, and so little things like that, like it normally wouldn't be that bad. I'd have to focus on somebody for me to feel it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't have to focus. We didn't even like really see it. We were coming up on it, and all I heard was and having that pain. So it was getting to the point where I was going to the grocery store and breaking down. I was going into aisles and like putting my face, I'm about to start crying thinking about it, putting my face in bread and just breaking down. Because I'm like, I'm so sorry that you guys feel this way. It's hard to feel everybody's shit, especially in these
now.
times. Yes. And so she helped me so much because I was like, I'm losing it. It's everybody now. It's not just dead people and like alive people. When I focus on them, it's everybody. Like I can hear like people within like a 50, 100 mile radius just like crying out for help. Like just so much pain. And he told me, she was like, "Oh, don't worry," or not don't worry, but she was like, "That's normal. You're tapping into your higher self." And I was like, "Fuck my higher self. I want to be my sane self." Like I don't cry like this. Like I'm not an emotional little bitch. I cry now like for everything. It's ridiculous. And I mean, but having these people though, we have these channels now to where they can help us. Like when she described what was actually happening to me, I was like, thank God. I thought I was truly, genuinely losing my mind. Like we had been locked up for 3 months at that point. I was like, I just need to get out of here. Thought it was just like a mental thing. And it was letting myself feel it, like instead of fighting it so much, just kind of letting it flow and not being so attached to it. Just because you feel it doesn't mean you have to like let it into you and let it affect you like that. You can feel those emotions without feeling them so wholly, which is what I definitely need to work on, because that's a big thing with me on investigations too. If something starts trying to channel me or something, I have a really hard time, depending on how strong they are, keeping them out or not. Jason has been there with me when sometimes I'll just like zone out and start having like random ass conversations, and he'll record the whole thing and it's like, you did it again, and I'm like, what? And look back at it, but there's something like, most of the time I can be like, no, we'll wait till later, we'll do channeling sessions like with somebody that they want to talk to if I can find them in the place. But it's super weird when they just come in and do it, and I'm like, I feel so violated. I did not give you permission to do that.
Right.
So I need to learn how to make sure they don't do that like every time, because that really is like that's a whole different feeling of it all. That's part of why I feel it so holy when it's just emotions. They can attach to me that easily when it's just their pure energy, you know?
Corey says, let it out, girl. You're over. What's that?
So don't tell me to cry.
That's my sister.
No, I was just kidding. Oh man, that's funny because that was what we were gonna name Oliver, was Corey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Corey. We were gonna name. I told Goose this the other day. I tried to get TC to let us name him Ragnar, but he wasn't having that like at all.
No.
Which is stupid because whatever, Ragnar's a badass name.
Yeah, it is.
Always good too, though.
It is. It's a perfect name for him. He
looks like an Oliver.
Yeah.
Well, part of why we did it though is because his last name is Williams. So Family Guy. What's the weather like today, Ollie? It's raining. We're going to Blackie Weatherman, Ollie Williams. Can we get you anything, Ollie? Campbell's. What kind? Chunk. You have an umbrella, Ollie? Yeah. What happened to it? It's 7 miles down there sideways.
Oh, I thought Heisenberg gave up. Are you with us, buddy? You okay?
What? Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah. What's going on? I see gummy bears in the comment.
Yeah, so gummy bears, sugar is like a great way to ground yourself after investigations or like channeling sessions and things like that. Yeah, gummy bears, anything sugar really, but gummy bears is like a big thing for.
Is that why all ghost hunters eat Sour Patch Kids?
Probably. It's good for replenishing your energy afterwards. It's not just the sugar thing. It's something about what that sugar does, like energy wise, with the spirits, like how it replenishes that part of your energy, like your inner aura, chi thingy, whatever you want to call it, the thing that flows like that.
So is that why Professor Lupin always tells Harry to eat some chocolate after he fights a Dementor?
Yes, because it replenishes your soul. It replenishes your. That's exactly what it is, because it's based off of Wiccan and pagan beliefs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
fuck yeah.
Hey, I got it.
Nice.
But yeah, I do gummy butterflies because this place near Broken Bow doesn't have gummy bears. They have gummy butterflies. So I do gummy butterflies, but it works just as well. Because I can't have too much sugar, because I mean, y'all see how like I am already. If I had sugar, I'd be on my Donkey Kong. See, I haven't even had like real caffeine or anything. This is like my first caffeinated drink. Maybe that's why. But you're welcome.
That's it.
Is that room temperature?
It's me temperature now. My hot ass hand holding it. I feel like
It's 105.
Look, y'all, I sweated out my edges. Look at this shit. Look. It's curved. It's curved. This all was all straight when I came in here. Horrible. What did y'all do to me?
I have that effect on people.
on people's hair.
Oh my god. I'm for real though. I straightened my hair. I was so mad after I did that little quick run to the car to try and find my other headphones.
Yeah.
My fat ass was like, shouldn't have actually ran.
It's an expression. Don't actually run.
Could have busted a brisk walk and got there just in much time because Lord knows my ass was just highly trotting, like heavily. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
Oh shit.
I don't even know what to say.
Right?
I'm like,
You guys look like you're having a great time.
We are.
It's a party.
Screw him.
Did he leave? He really left.
No, I turned him off.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
Oh my god.
Let's give him a moment. There you go.
Okay.
Welcome to the Heisenberg Show.
Oh my god.
Got to take advantage and screw with him when he can't hear us at all.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
My cheeks
So what
hurt
are there-
from laughing.
I know.
I know. Like I said, there's always party when I'm around. Yes, very nice.
Right.
That
I'm
dude
very
makes me want.
excited.
I'm assuming this is for Heisenberg.
Yeah.
That dude makes me
No, I
want to
can't even
chain
see
smoke
anything.
cigarettes.
No, he can't
I
even,
don't even see the comment.
Oh, jeez.
I gotta wonder if he's even logged into the same program we all are.
I'm
Oh my
telling
God.
you, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
God.
he's actually been able to hear us the whole fucking
Right.
night, and he's just been messing with us because that's how he is. He's doing it as payback for all the times he thought that I didn't say hi to him because he petty like that. I'll fight
Right.
you, Heisenberg.
She doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to her then.
I heard that.
Of course you did. Of course you
The
did.
fight you Heisenberg, I heard. At least I hope it was fight.
You guys debating over fried chicken or something on the comments during that paranormal roundhouse or roundhouse, like whatever round table.
Somebody's got some fried chicken?
Hey, you heard me now.
shit.
Here goes some fried chicken.
Here's fried chicken.
See, no, don't tell me you can. Don't say now you can hear me. I'm telling you, he's picked and chosen what
Yep.
he has responded to
Yeah.
this whole night.
Yep.
I'm on to
Selective
you.
hearing.
All right, I heard picked and chosen.
Yeah, see, see you.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it on purpose.
I will release hellfire upon your family.
Wow.
Did you hear that, Heisenberg?
I could see by her face it was something serious or scary.
Oh, shit.
Something sinister.
Sinister. I love how I keep leaning forward to hear you guys. It's not helping.
No?
It's not making my computer work better.
It's not helping.
Does it help if we do it? Oh, my God.
Did you try turning your volume up?
That's not funny. That happened to me on my first show.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Remember I texted you and I was like, I can't hear you. I don't know what's wrong. It was my
Turn your
volume,
volume.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah, I don't. That's like
bad.
mild. Y'all should have seen my first like 5 shows. Jesus Christ, those were rough, bro. At one point, I had the guys from when they did the I can't remember the
Volume
Madhouse
works.
documentary. It was the Madhouse documentary, guys.
Yeah.
I had all 4 of them on, and the whole entire show. I didn't even get to release that episode because the whole entire show for like the first 30 minutes was everybody echoing back at each other. So anytime I'd say anything, you just be like, hello, welcome to, nah, nah, nah. And it was just like where we were at the races, back and forth. And I just couldn't figure out how to do it. So I only ever had one guest on at a time after that until I figured it out. Oh, girl, it's okay. I still forget the volume button. I still make way bigger mistakes than that. It's horrible. Technology's the devil, Bobby.
We were Denise and I were just talking. One of the first times she was on, I forgot to hit end broadcast, so we're just bullshitting. after the show. It's still rolling out. I'm like, she's like, did you end this? I'm like,
that is my worst fear
Right?
on StreamYard is to not end the broadcast, because you know how it says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you have to click yes. It's not just I'm ready to end.
I'm
it.
always
It's like, are you sure?
Am I
No.
sure?
But
Do I
I
want to?
forget sometimes that there's that, because I have like other screens up, so I don't see over to the side where it says, "Are you sure?" That box where it says, "Are you sure?"
Right.
And there was one night I was so thankful that I figured, like 2 seconds afterwards, it's like, oh no, I gotta close it out, because we talked some mad shit after that show.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't shit that I hadn't already said on the show, but I mean, we talked even more shit, and I mean, people think I'm like, oh, and like, you have no filter, and I'm like, bitch, this is a filter. Like, y'all, you get me like so filtered. There's so many things. I tell TC all the time. I'm like, oh, and he goes, "Did you make another joke that's gonna send you to hell again?" I was like, yeah, because I'll think of shit in my head. I'll be like, oh no, I can't say that. And he goes, why don't you just say them if you're already thinking them? I said, because on the slight chance that God won't punish me because I didn't say it, just thought it, I'm not gonna say it, because I think of some pretty. I'm a very morbid person. Like I'm very fucked up. And if people like heard some of the shit that I said in private, they'd be like, they'd actually be shocked. Like, I made a joke the other day that I still can't stop laughing at, and I know I'm going to hell just for laughing at it as hard as I did.
And continue to do.
Oh, I'm thinking about it right now, and I just want to tell everybody, but I'm like,
I think Mike was trying to say something, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could hear now. Kate turned off the TV, so our Wi-Fi sucks.
Oh, that's what it was?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, everybody.
That's okay, Kate. We forgive you.
You ruined the show, Kate.
Anyway.
Hey, I was actually working out for once in my whole life, so
nice. Good for you.
I was wondering why I was sweating.
I was about to say, I'm working out right now, just sitting in my little makeshift studio. Y'all, I'm in a motherfucking closet right now. I ain't got no vents, no AC, no nothing.
I got a fan on me.
I don't.
I thought it was like.
This is my
I thought you just
playroom.
owned, like, always naturally just had a breeze around you. You just walk around, your hair just blows.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
Right. And look, I got an Avengers couch.
Ooh,
nice.
Awesome.
I need that.
That's my fancy studio.
That's awesome. That's an awesome studio.
Yeah.
Look at this. You know why I bought this backdrop? Because if I didn't have something, you'd see the rest of my electrical box.
I
love it.
That's funny.
Nice. What's up?
I think your electrical box was messing with my my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, that's it.
Even Kate.
Yeah. I'm too cheap to pay for better Wi-Fi.
I'm gonna demand it in my next contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell them that you have a very
almost up for renewal.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we have a very respectable show, and we need to make sure that our Wi-Fi is on point. Tell them that.
I'm not gonna tell her that.
No,
You just told her that.
No, tell the Wi-Fi
she is
company.
so pissed right now.
Yeah, I bet. Tell the Wi-Fi company.
Wow.
Just make sure don't tell them the name of the show, because then they'll know you're lying.
Yeah.
When you call to renew your contract, tell them that.
No,
don't you know who I am? I'm Heisenberg.
Yeah, I'm
this is
the
my contract.
Heisenberg.
Our marriage contract.
Our marriage contract. It gets renewed every 5 years.
Oh gosh. I'm glad
asking
that's
for a
not
lot
a
of
thing.
shit this time around, man.
It's all gonna get tonight.
I like how you turned around to make sure she's not going to hit you or something.
She can't reach me.
What in the
Oh,
world?
hey, we have a real question.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out how to get back into here. It kicked me out. I was like, fuck you. Okay. Heisenberg did it. I know he did it. I'm blaming everything on him tonight.
That is
Wonderful.
odd. Like he finally gets everything back, and she's going on the fritz.
Give me
Steve,
your bad juju.
from our buddy Mr. Hummel. For each of you, your thoughts on what it is on the other side of the veil. It's a broad question, yes, but I'm always interested in their opinions. Start with our guests. What do you think?
Ghosts,
your thoughts.
That's a very tricky question because you say the other side of the veil, but what veil? I mean, I believe I think that a lot of what we encounter sometimes, what we call residual evidence or residual energy, is maybe what we're encountering like multidimensionally. We're actually encountering like another dimension breaking through or being in that time slip of a house. We have. That's why we're doing this, because we don't fucking know what's on the other side. And when you say the other side of the veil, like to me, that's which veil? Like our earthly veil? Or are you talking about when we can slip into veils of other dimensions? Or when we slip into veils of like astral projection almost, when we can sit there and go transdimensionally within ourselves without having died, without, doing anything. We can manifest that ourselves. So the other sides of the veil, what do you mean? There's so
Okay, how about this? Let's
sides.
say when you're investigating, what do you think it is you're investigating? What do you think it is you're seeing or hearing or whatever?
For the most part, energy that is stuck in these locations. You guys know I'm very big on the energy is words, thoughts, anything that you put out into this universe is acted upon. Energy, whether it be residual or active and intelligent, can always be imprinted in place. We don't even have to be dead to leave residual energy. We can have a shocking or traumatic enough experience that our residual energy while we're living is imprinted into a location or into a place and time. But when we're dealing with what we're investigating normally, it's the energy of these people who are either afraid, because I don't know why the light is always a very big thing. When we have people who clearly are asking for help and we're asking them, we get a lot of the times, what are you afraid of? And have EVPs, not spirit box answers, not any type of like other devices except for EVPs. What are you afraid of? The light. Constantly saying they're afraid of the light. And when you think about how it's ingrained in us while we live, especially, if you're certain religions, if you do this, that, and third, you're going to hell.
Right.
Those people are so afraid of going to that light because they're afraid of that judgment. They're afraid of what happens when they go into that light. A lot of the times that's not even actually unfinished business. It's just that fear of what's going to happen to me after I go there. Yeah. And I think I got to that point with being on the table and seeing myself in the light, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I was brought back out of it. I didn't have to go all the way into it. So I don't know. And that's why I don't like doing crossovers. We don't know where we're sending them. We're saying you'll be safe, you'll go to a better place. We can't guarantee that. Like, I don't like being responsible for that. So what I do is like therapy sessions with them. Basically, if you can work with spirits, if they're willing to communicate with you enough and you gain their trust and everything, we can communicate with that side of the veil, basically like they were still living. But I definitely believe that most of what we investigate is people from this earth, this dimension, like right here and now, because of the intelligent things that we can gather from either research in the locations or things like that. But I so want to like randomly step into like a wall one day and it'd be like, and like Rick and Morty something.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's Pickle Rick, bitch.
Pickle Rick.
Look,
Pickle Rick.
it's Rick and Morty.
Hell yeah. I have prison jailbreak Rick as a Paco figure in the other room.
I've never watched one episode.
What?
Oh, it's
great. She even goes from like that is like the coolest, most intelligent answer I've ever heard, and then she throws in like a Rick and Morty thing, and that just I think is like the coolest thing in the world. I like her.
That's why we love Ashley.
Okay, me and your husband are gonna fight. I hope you're okay with it. I like you too, though, but I don't like him. No, just kidding.
You want to switch spots? Because they're trying to gang up on me, I think.
They've already ganged up on They're not trying.
Oh,
We're succeeding.
so they're
They're
winning.
now success.
What do you think, Heisenberg?
Now, show, so.
Well, now that you can, what is your answer to Steve's question there, Heisenberg?
What?
What's
behind the veil?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think we're investigating when we're looking behind the veil or something like that? Yeah, other side of the veil. What's on the other side?
Ghosts.
Okay.
We are.
Literally happy to
That's what we're doing.
Kate, I can see why you have
sour gummy worms. That's all I'm looking for.
Hey, Kate, go turn the TV back on. I think we're done with Heisenberg tonight.
It's time to go watch TV again.
I'm not in mid-show mode right now. This is just the beginning for me, man.
That solves that.
What do you think, Denise?
I don't know. I really think that I feel like it's a lot like the movie The Others.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was going to say, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
sure, Heisenberg. That's what you're going to say.
Right.
It's true. I was copying off Denise.
I feel like
I've never even seen The Others.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. He won't watch it.
No.
I've seen it, and I don't watch horror movies.
Well,
I like that movie a lot, though.
The Others is actually one of my favorite, like, paranormal movies. It's just a really interesting perspective on what it might be like to be a ghost.
Right. It really makes you think about it. And the
Like,
fact that, like, their house never changes, and I mean, I feel like it's like that. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like the spirits that are at the seminary, they're not in an empty, old, dirty, abandoned building. I feel like they're still living like it was when they were alive,
Yeah.
Because, and it's weird too, because like I found if you put something, whatever you're using on a table, and then you say, can you touch that thing on the table? It doesn't really work as well as if you put it in a doorway or on a window or something that's like permanently attached to the building.
No.
Almost like they can't see the table and they don't know what you're talking about. But like as soon as you move it to like a window or like a windowsill or a doorway or whatever, the middle of the floor even, it seems to have better reactions.
That's a huge theory, though, as to why we always, like, how they see apparitions disappear into walls and stuff. It's not that they're disappearing into walls. It's that they're taking their natural pathway that they would have in life. Like, there was actually a doorway or a walkway at that point, and there wasn't an actual door or wall there. So that's why you see them walking through walls and things, because they're just taking what they know as their natural path, because it does all look like, and I think that's why a huge spike in activity happens when you start renovations in these older places, because that natural energy is disturbed. Stone tape theory is a huge one that I know that you love talking about it too. We talked about it a little bit when you were on my show. And just stone tape theory in itself, you have to think about all the energy that's captured in these locations, that especially the older locations that are built like from limestone bricks or have that really old good thick wood, you know what I'm talking about? That shit that smell good when you cut it. And so that energy is all kind of like stirred up, and then the ghosts go kind of crazy because you're disturbing the energy. It's not that you're making everything look different, it's just that there's so much more energy in that location, so they have more to feed off of, and that's why the activity increases. It's not that you're making them mad or they see that it's getting different. They just have more to work with. It's really interesting.
They're not necessarily mad at the paint color you chose. It's just there's more energy.
Unless they straight up say this teal is fucking disgusting.
Right.
I just worry that we have to get jobs somewhere on the other side, man.
Oh my gosh, Shelly and I were just talking about that. Like, do you get to pick it, or is it just assigned to you?
I think it gets assigned to you, man.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Where's that show we watched?
Send me to hell.
Miracle Workers. You ever see Miracle Workers?
No.
Yes. That show is awesome.
Yes, it is awesome.
They have ghost jobs or what?
They're
They
angels.
kind of get put in different departments.
Kind of,
They're in heaven, but they
yeah.
get put in different departments, like very minute departments.
Right.
Like the
And they're like
Department of Dirt.
in the Renaissance age, kind of.
Yeah.
So they're having to deal with like plagues and like the most basic of humanity's problems. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of being like, what the fuck? Daniel Radcliffe's in it, and so is Steve Buscemi. It's really, really good.
Oh, that show. I have not seen it, but I've been
Yeah.
wanting to watch it really bad.
Watch it. Watch both seasons. They're good.
Okay. I will. Yeah, it looks
watch Rick
hilarious.
and Morty, for God's sakes.
You know how often I get the TV to myself?
Right.
I come home and I had to watch like an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes of Hero Academia, some anime show that my kids just started watching. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like, what are they doing? Like, show me some Dragon Ball. I could probably get on board with that. But
My Hero Academia is actually pretty awesome, but if you're watching it, but you're probably on Netflix, watch Hunter x Hunter instead, and then watch Yu Yu Hakusho, because the same guy wrote both of those, and they're freaking amazing. Anime's my shit. I love it.
Yeah.
So my answer that's
Oh yeah, answer the question, Goose.
I think they're demonic Squatch aliens. That's what it is.
Nailed it.
Okay, hold up. I'm going to need
Heisenberg's
you to, anytime you refer to Sasquatch as Sam Squanch, as they do on Trailer Park Boys, because Sam Squanch is way better. So Sam Squanches. Sam Squanch. Goddamn Sam Squanch. Fucking right. Greasy.
No, what I think is on the other side. I mean, I don't know. That's why I do what I do. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, there's different variations, like we were talking about before. There's like the residual thing where it's just one point of energy, one person playing something over and over again, like it never stopped for them. They may not be able to interact with us. They may not even know we're there. They could just be in the mindset like the others, where they're just where they are when they passed away. They never moved on from that point.
Right.
And I mean, we've had rarely. I mean, I think probably 75% of what we witness when we investigate is like that type of thing, where it's just one point of energy just playing over and over again, like a broken record. Mm-hmm. I think you're very lucky, and I think as investigators, we're looking for that intelligent haunt where we can interact, and we've done it. I mean, Madison is amazing with that. I mean, spirit box sessions are always very productive and really cool.
Sound like you're trying to sell something.
Yeah,
spirit box production are very productive.
Yes, they're very productive. And sorry. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't honestly answer that question. But that's what keeps me going and doing.
Here's a question, because I think about this all the time. Do you think that it's actual? Do you think it's actually residual, or do you think that it's just that they're just like us, and only some of them can see us and some of them can't? And so, like the psychic ones can actually have a conversation with us. Yeah. But the rest of them are just going about their day because they don't even know we're there. Just like we don't know they're there.
Good thoughts, Denise. Good thought.
Yeah.
Think about that a lot.
I think it could possibly be both.
Right. When you do like an EVP or you have a spirit box or any kind of equipment, a lot of times you'll hear hello. Yeah. And like if you go into a place and you think you hear somebody whispering, what do? You go, hello? Even though you know that voice is not someone that's there, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense, because one of the best EVPs we've ever captured was at Shalersville Historical Society, and we had a list of names of the family that lived there, and we had known that one of the daughters had passed away in the house. Actually, a lot of the people that lived in that family had passed away in the house, and we called out this certain name, and I think Kate and I were the only ones that like audibly heard it. It was like a disembodied voice for us, but we actually captured it on the digital recorder too. And it was just really weird because we're like, is Lillian Poots here? And you just hear this very female voice like, where are you? Like she's like hearing us, almost like we're hearing her, but she can't visually see us and she doesn't know where the voice is coming from.
Right.
It was just really weird. But yeah, I mean,
that's what a part of what I was talking about, though, is what veil was he talking about? Because okay, and the point that you made, D-Nice, is when you said that, is it really residual, or just like you said, maybe some of them are psychic and they can actually talk to us? What I found is that it's how do I describe this without sounding crazy? Like I ever fucking care about that, but I'm trying to find the perfect way to word
We've
this.
already crossed that bridge.
You're on the wrong show for trying to not sound crazy.
This is serious.
Right. If I have to be quiet, it's like it's weird. So you say that it's just residual energy. I think that the whole veil thing is part of what keeps them from being able to interact with, like how you say it's maybe a psychic ability or an ability they have to see us. Right. I believe that the ones that don't have enough energy to reach through that veil of the past world and into ours physically, the ones that can come and touch our devices, the ones that can come and, you know, give us EVPs, make things go off, slam doors and do things like that. They're the ones that can reach over that. It's literally like a thin line. You can almost feel it when you walk into certain places. When you feel like that change and shift of energy, that's because you're walking into a place that's heavily embedded in that veil. That means that they've had a lot of either random tragic sudden deaths. I've had that happen a lot in hospitals and the asylum in certain areas where it used to be a trauma ward. That area, when it's just mired in that type of energy. And like I said, though, it doesn't have to be energy from deaths and stuff. Something so traumatic could have happened, but that veil itself, that energy from the veil, is kind of what would make you think that, you know, how he said, where are you? She's there, but she can't see us because she's stuck on that side and we're here. But they exist together, if that makes any sense. Like those two dimensions are basically one. It's just a matter of whether or not how we have the capability to, whether, you know, the psychic has the capability to reach into the veil, vice versa with the ghost having enough energy to reach out. So it's like a whole cross.
So what gives them enough energy then?
Crisscross.
I think it has a lot to do with us. If you notice, a lot of people, their equipment, anything, if you tell them they can start draining stuff, watch how quick, if they're intelligent enough to know and can actually do this, watch how quick your stuff starts draining. I actually have, I can't even tell you how many batteries, like in flashlights, and these little bitty ass flashlights. That way they can just feed off of that stuff alone, because they mess with my equipment so much when we're in certain locations that I bring 30 little mini flashlights that are running all the time for them to drain from. That way they don't have to go after my big stuff. A lot of times we offer, if I feel that the location is safe enough for us to let these energies tap into us and use our energy to start interacting with us more heavily, then I'll do so. There are some locations, and you should not do this at every location, though. Do not just openly, willy-nilly be like, hey, you can use my energy to do this, that. You're opening your energy, and when you leave a piece of yourself behind no matter where you go. It's not just investigation-wise, it's just facts. Like when people come and visit your home, you should always clean out your home. Those energies get left there. Same goes with when we interact with them. Sometimes they can leave their energies with us. And then that's like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing, but it helps them communicate more fully. I don't even know how to describe it, but have you been in an investigation where somebody's like, draw my energy to do this, and then see something, not just one thing, but like 70 things happen all at the same time? That they pull any type of energy. The energy part of it's just like, oh, I'm such a nerd about it. Fucking love the energy part of it. Like Tesla's theory of energy and frequencies running every single, you know, paranormal and magical and alien related mishap or anomaly was just, I don't even want to get started. My God, I'm not gonna shut up. Yeah, but energy. It's all about energy. That's all it is. It's about pure energy. Same reason why certain douchey ghost hunters, Jack Biggins, gets attacked. Now,
Right.
now he says he gets attacked, and I believe he gets attacked because if he was in my domain, I wouldn't want his nasty ass there either. Get out my domain. Go that way because you're just rude. I don't like you. And they don't have to actively know you. They can read our minds and our energy. They can tell whether or not they like us as soon as we get into that building. I've had people walk out of the Broken Bow Asylum investigations, the public ones I do, because I make everybody, before we do any type of an investigation in public places, do an energy feel. I make them spend 2 minutes in the most active part of wherever we're investigating and see if the energy adversely affects them. If an energy in that location does not like somebody, they will let you know, and they will let you know quick. That way, you don't waste your time taking those people in there, knowing that, one, you're going to be pissing off the spirits, because that's a no-no for me. Respect them just like you would. If there's clearly somebody that they do not want in their space, then they're not allowed. I refund their money, but you're not allowed to come back there because they don't want you. They pick and choose, and they can tell. And I'm pretty sure every time he walks into a place now, they're like, this guy. And like, I just hate the way he treats everybody. Like, if you're gonna lock Aaron up and use him as bait, at least give him some like donuts or something to snack on. Like, don't just lock that motherfucker up for hours with nothing. And I say donuts.
Here you go, buddy.
That's a quiet snack. You can still at least do EVP sessions and stuff with some donuts.
You don't want milk duds down there, man.
Y'all heard that? I actually, this is so funny that you mentioned that. So I had never, ever, ever gotten these responses before. And the last time we went to the asylum for the public investigation, when I had like that group of, what was it? I don't even remember how freaking many. It was a pretty big group not compared to the last one. But anyway, so we're in the back, and I always ask, is there anything I can bring you back when I come? Because I always bring gifts for them. And sometimes a lot of the times it's like cigarettes or toiletry items is really weird. I get like hairbrush a lot, or like toothpaste and things like that, which is weird. Because it makes you think, though, are they still, even though they're talking to me and we're talking about their death, do they still not realize that they're dead?
Right. Like, you don't got to brush your teeth anymore, dude.
Right. So I got an EVP of when we asked, is there anything I can bring you back next time? I got an EVP of Hershey's, Cheetos.
What?
And then a pet. A little girl said, a pet?
Oh.
And I said, what kind of pet? And she said, dog. So we brought my mother-in-law's dog. She came on the last one with us, so we brought my mother-in-law's dog up there so they could have a pet to play with. And I brought the Hershey's. I don't ever not bring it. I don't say I'm going to bring something and don't. And then everybody's questions are always, well, are they going to eat it? And
the dog?
No, like the spirits.
Oh my God,
the spirits.
Don't eat the dog.
No, dog not for dinner. So I have the right to do that. I'm pan Asian. That's not racist. Okay. I can do that all I want. But yeah, so I always bring it. But it's so funny because whenever I bring them, the food the first time, everybody's question when I pulled it out, are they going to eat it? And I didn't know how to respond because I'm like, I have to be nice to y'all because you're paying me right now. But what the fuck? No, they're not. No, they're not going to eat it. I was like, I just leave it there because it's just knowing that it's there that you follow through. Yeah. They don't have to eat it. But a lot of the times it'll be moved. Like whatever I bring there will be like in a completely different opposite room and nobody else I have the only key.
Oh, wow.
To the asylum. Nobody else has been in there. It's just moved. And if it were the crackheads that were breaking in, they would trust me. They would eat the Cheetos.
They would have ate it. Yeah.
They wouldn't just move the Cheetos. They would have ate the Cheetos.
That's funny.
So, kind of getting off the subject of the whole ghost hunting thing. A while back, Brian Baum asked what your thoughts on Bigfoot are.
Me? Like he asked this?
Yeah, I mean, it was just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun because I never get to talk about the cryptic stuff. I love this, the cryptid everything's. So, all right.
Mike's
so
like, I'm out. I
believe that cryptids. So a lot of the times you look up the case files when people have their encounters with Bigfoot. There's so many accounts from people all over the world that have the same instance when they come across the Bigfoot type creature that they see glowing lights in the sky or they see big streams of lights coming down from the sky. I think Bigfoot is like an interdimensional creature. I think that it's something that is really just like an alien. Okay, so backtrack to this because then it'll lead into this. Okay, so my gosh. So aliens for like years and years and years and years and years. The first account was like in the 50s on a naval base an Air Force base in Colorado, where they had reports of the gray men, the gray aliens, coming out and the entire base shorting when they saw these entities, right? So then they shape-shifted basically in front of them into like owls.
I've heard that.
And
I've heard that.
And then got away. So they were looking for these gray aliens, couldn't find it, but they saw these two owls sitting there watching the base in the tree. These big, huge white snowy owls that were not like native to that area. So when you think about the technology that they have, because let's face it, they can fucking morph. Don't tell me that they don't have like one of those little wristwatch thingies like MIB and they can just like change their whole appearance. Okay, they can. They've been fucking with humans for so long. Aliens go back to our earliest civilizations. People who were eons and eons away from each other had no way of communicating these same stories, having these same exact stories of these spacemen, of spacecrafts, of alien beings, of men with helmets coming. Technology was built. Stone tape theory in itself. A lot of what they've actually discovered from Easter Island and so many different, like what we call the 7 wonders of the world, they've taken parts of it and ran it through. Have you ever seen where they can actually run memory onto diamonds and like glass and stuff now? Okay, well, just like a small sliver of glass or diamond like that big can hold more information like than an entire like Bill Gates fucking can, like his entire company can. So what they did was started testing the particles and like pieces of the monuments like Easter Island Head, Stonehenge, the pyramids, and we're finding that you could actually record microdata onto these types of substances as well. So what they're thinking is, were these made and built as messages? Like, were these dropped here and left as messages for people to play? Like, we could be having all the answers right now if we figured out how to play these tapes from them. That's where stone tape theory comes into.
Right.
And so when you think about how they've been fucking with us for so long, if they get caught and they get seen by somebody, what would be the easiest thing? To transform into something else. And if you say you see Bigfoot, I'm sorry, I know we all love Bigfoot, but you know ain't nobody finna believe you when you fucking say it. Nobody's gonna believe that you saw Bigfoot because they've done that. Like they are so much trickier than we know. They created that. They were like, you guys are a bunch of country bumpkins. When you see a big old hairy man, nobody's gonna believe you. Bam! So they switched to a hairy man. But they're aliens or interdimensional beings of some type. I highly believe that because there's no way that you have the incidents in the sky that you have at the same time as on the ground when you're having these experiences. And the way that they just randomly disappear sometimes too, or how it seems like you can hear them but you can't see them. That happens a lot too. Apparently, people like will be standing in the middle of a huge field and feel like there's like a crazy mountain ape man standing right next to them. They can smell it and they can hear him yelling, but you can't see him.
There's a lot of reports.
Interdimensional.
Yeah, there's a lot of reports too of people just becoming very ill, just nauseous, like almost like they're getting hit with a high
EMF.
High EMF, yes, exactly. And just what was also on the infrasound is another thing. They communicate with infrasound, which they actually tried to measure, and they've been able to measure it like in correlation to the calls between the creatures. There's just like an inaudible, just crazy measurement of infrasound. It's crazy stuff. And I like your theory, and I kind of go there myself quite a bit when I think about it. We actually had a gentleman on the show a while ago. He was the Ohio chapter president of MUFON, and he described, because we were asking him, like, have you ever witnessed anything besides, obviously you track aliens and UFOs. Have you ever witnessed anything else? And he's like, well, we were tracking what we were looking into the skies for signs of UFOs. They were out in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, but we started following what we thought was a Bigfoot. He's like, this tall creature just walking away from us in the shadows, and we could barely see him. So obviously our minds are now focused on this. So they follow this thing, and out from behind the tree line comes this just bright light. And when they come up to the point where they thought they might be able to get close enough to see the Bigfoot, they saw a white owl, a large white owl, not just like a big white owl. And I was just like, holy crap.
Well, they need to diversify their disguises, man.
Right? They walk among us, my friend.
They truly do. I actually remember that episode. That was one of the first episodes I think I had ever caught of yours, and I was like, here's a fucking UFO expert on here, I'm gonna fucking die. I asked so many questions that night. I do remember. I was like, what do you think about the correlation between the armed forces and their sightings of UFO crafts? And please answer my question, sir.
Yeah. He was an awesome guest, and we got to hang out with him.
Really awesome.
We got to hang out with him at the Kent Paranormal Weekend right after that, and we did a Sasquatch / UFO / ghost hunt out in the woods.
They're going to tie me to a tree.
We're going to tie him to a tree like Sasquatch bait, because he was so afraid of it. But I mean, it was really cool.
You got to pull a Bugs Bunny though and dress him up like a nice little lady.
Girl, I was just thinking that.
Sasquatch and heat.
The white.
I would look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
You'd make a nice looking Sasquatch, boy.
You know it.
Oh shit.
I'm dying. Oh my god. I choked on my own spit.
Right?
Oh, I'm like a whole different shade right now.
You're a fancy Squatch lady there, youngin.
Thank you, kind sir.
I just need to know,
for me, please.
If that ever does happen, though, I really need you to go, meh, what's up, Dak, to him when he comes to sweep you off your feet and kidnap you and rape you in the cave.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to say that then. I might say hi, but I don't
even think you would say hi.
She's like, I'm gonna run the other way. I brought beef jerky because I was like, I know the commercials are just fucking around, but there's no way they like anything hates beef jerky. There's it's ungodly for anything in this world to ever hate beef jerky. So if I do encounter Sam Squatch and he's not friendly, I can at least throw it in the other direction and buy myself some time. Yeah.
Smart.
Plus, I had to get a little snack for the trail. I had to stop myself because I was like, "What if I run into him before I eat it all? He's just gonna be mad that I ain't got nothing left." Like, yeah, shit, bitch.
I would have to still think about. I would still have to do some. I would still have to do some deep thinking if he walked up on me and I was chowing down on some of my favorite beef jerky. Like,
want some of this?
I wouldn't have to do with thinking at all, Ray. I'd push you right towards him.
Just throw me and the beef jerky to him.
Yep, I'm like, here you go. Enjoy.
I could see that.
Oh my goodness. 9:45. Holy crap.
I know.
Oh my god. Whew.
Right?
Wow, it is, yeah.
See, I feel like I've missed half the shenanigans of this show.
You really, dude, you missed so much. There was like a whole 10-minute segment where we were just doing nothing but talking shit about you.
Oh.
And you you didn't catch any of it, and you chime in at the best parts. You'd be like, I said you said fight me or something like that, but you didn't hear like the 5-minute spiel I went on about you, and you were just like, it's okay. I was like, watch when he goes back and watches this later, because
Oh, I will be.
that'll be
Really
fun.
good.
It wasn't nothing I wouldn't say, like, to your actual face. It wasn't really like shit either. It was just fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I did talk about how you get butthurt. That's what it was. I was talking about how you get butthurt when I don't say hi to you. When I think I just say hi to them, but I say hi, fam, like including all three of you when I first come on, and then you only see later when they've said hi to me. That's why I say goose and D nice, because they'll say something. And then I'm like, goose and D nice, but I say hi to everybody first, and you always choose to just ignore it. And I told them you were saying that you couldn't hear us on purpose just to get me back for that. This whole night, you were just like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
No, I will be honest, it was true. I could not hear you guys.
It'll be fun to watch later.
That happens all the time, but nobody ever says hi to me because I don't say shit. I saw like Hatcher was on here. He said hi to both Goose and Denise, and nothing to me.
Oh,
that's all right.
Because your response is usually your response is usually just
right.
Yes, all the time. Especially when you guys used to still be in the studio.
Yeah.
Goose would like look over, or you'd be reading out the comments and be like, so and so says, and Goose would be like, hey, and you just sit there and be like, whatever. Like, no, just, no, didn't say hi. Goose says hi back, and you're just like, so and so said hi. Next comment.
That's why I have no control over any comments or show things, because it would just be bad. First of all, like the show probably wouldn't even run right. I'd be the only one that could hear anything.
I think that would be on purpose, though.
Yeah,
I could see you fucking with somebody for like a whole 5 minutes and be like, just kidding.
No, that's not me.
So, Ashley, you have anything cool coming up? Any good investigations lined up? Or are you guys kind of sitting back and chilling?
Never. So what I figured out is that if I slow down at all, I will lose every ounce of steam that I have, putting everything that I have into both the podcast and, my documentary series and everything. And I've already found like a really good balance between the fact that, my family wants to spend time with Oliver, and I still have that time to go and do what I do. It's literally like once or twice a week that I would be at work anyway and get to go out and do these things. So I'm not going to stop for a while. I have a shit ton of events coming up in September and October at multiple different locations. I'll announce them once we get the contract signed for all the other ones. But RAC Asylum, I'm actually on board with them until October. Actually, they want to keep running the paranormal investigations because we had such a good summer doing it until the 1st of next year. So we're going to keep running that through the asylum. I'm going to be helping with their haunted house this summer. That's out in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, which is freaking beautiful. It's in the Hochatown area. It's amazing. Okay. And that place is like ridiculously crazy haunted. We actually have a special guest from a certain TV show that's going to be a guest investigator at one in early October.
Nice.
At the asylum. That's going to be like super fun.
I can't wait for it. I mean,
It's
yeah,
me.
You know who it is. But yeah.
Already wait, dude.
And then I have, oh my God, I can't even think of it. So I have a show coming up with Heather Childers, the Spooky Spirits and Babes Talk or whatever. Yeah. It's going to be on September 23rd. I think it's a Monday in September. It's going to be right after my show. And then we are shooting at the Ballinger Park Hotel. We are shooting part of our documentary series. I'm going to continue on where I left off with the documentary series. But this kind of adds on to the Bonnie and Clyde series that I did, because Ballinger Park Hotel actually has like a huge background story with Bonnie and Clyde. They actually have instances there where we'll either get their names or apparitions that look like them.
Yeah.
Because Bonnie and Clyde actually stayed at the Old Park Hotel constantly throughout their lives before they were gunned down in Gippsland. I have a brick from the house in Joplin, Missouri, where they had that huge shootout with the police. I have a brick that Mr. Perry from the Ambush Museum bought and had it in the museum. So he gave that to me to give to the Old Park Hotel. So we're transferring haunted goods with energy from these other places. So I'm trying to see how bringing these items from different haunted locations and locations that they had their energy in life, how it might like affect or maybe even amplify the energies that we're getting.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what it does. And then in mid-September, I'm splitting my time between the asylum and then I'm so excited for this. I can't announce the name yet, but it is an old historic jail that's out in East Texas. This guy had just bought it, and since it closed down in, I think it was like the early 1900s, nobody had owned it except for the city. It was just used as storage. So he's buying it and opening it up as like a haunted house because they have so many stories from people who go in for storage stuff and have things happen to them. And then he said he found me because of my work on Bonnie and Clyde and the history and everything. He found me through my documentary and asked me to do this because Clyde Barrow had actually been in that jail. Like they had the ledger and he had gotten arrested and put in that jail. But then come to find out, because I was like, this town sounds really familiar. It's the hometown of Billy the Kid, a.k.a. William H. Bonney. And Mr. Bonney himself actually spent time in that jail as well. And it's all on the ledgers.
So cool.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to be the first person to investigate this place.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah. And so after I do that initial investigation, I'm going to set up, we're going to do tours and stuff. So I get to do that. And I mean, it's basically kind of becoming a job now, just being a tour guide in these places. And it's like the best thing ever. I'm so excited because you get paid to literally sit in haunted locations for 8-9 hours and just literally do nothing but do what you would do for free normally.
Right.
Yeah.
Or pay for it.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. I've never had anybody charge, but you guys, I'm that way that I don't like going to the places that everybody goes to constantly. I love finding the little randomized places in the middle of nowhere that have lots of history but have never really been investigated and lots of stories, but nobody's ever really delved into.
Yeah.
And oh man, that just I forgot what I was saying because I got so fucking excited. I knew I was going somewhere with that.
Or is it?
Oh, I don't pay. That's what it is. No, none of these places usually charge me to investigate, but I always make donations. Whatever, like I feel like a lot of locations charge like $200-$300 for locations, sometimes even more. But I usually make at least like $200-$300 donations to each of these locations because a lot of them are historic societies or places owned by either historic societies or by the city that only run by donation and donation funding, like not backed by the city, owned by the city, but get no city funding.
Right.
Yeah,
we're favorite. Plus, you get back to the little places like that, you know.
Yeah, that's like I like investigating at Shalersville Historical Society. And I'm actually a member there, so I pay my dues just like any other member. I don't actually ever go to the meetings because they're on Thursday nights, but they're like, that's fine because you talk about us all the time and you investigate and you're constantly giving,
they listen to the show.
Shout out.
Yeah, a couple of them do actually. I know Ron said he's checked it out, but he doesn't really like ever comment or anything. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And we need to do something for them this year if they're going to do anything. We did a public ghost hunt for them back when we first started a couple years ago with them. And we raised like $400. I mean, but it was enough for them to buy concrete to pour the foundation for the Baker cabin, which was like the first homestead built in Shalersville. So, it was, it doesn't seem like a big amount, but it was a big deal because they were actually able to finally put the Baker cabin permanently in the spot that they wanted it to be. And they renovated it from there. So
that's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Basement in there.
That would just be awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, we loved it. And when we worked with Barberton Historical Society at Anadine Farm, it's funny because people are like, "Oh, you're investigating barns." Like, you've never seen these barns. These barns look like
that
mansions.
place is beautiful.
Yeah, these barns are like mansions in and of themselves. I mean, they're built beautifully, and you go in and they're clean. The floors, I mean, everything is clean, and that's the way they were when they were actually functioning farms.
Right.
Because the owner wanted to make sure that the animals were treated just as well as the workers. You know what I mean? So, but it's really cool to go in there, and we never paid for investigations, but we raised money for them, and we never kept any of it. We just let them have it, just for the pleasure of being able to investigate a spot that nobody else really is able to work. So
that's what
really cool.
When I did the Bonnie and Clyde Ambush Museum, and the first times I started with the asylum, that's how it started out, because Mr. Perry was not having any visitors come through, and that's how he makes all of his money. Travel between Louisiana and Texas, it's in the middle of nowhere in Arcadia, in the corner of Arcadia, so he gets a lot of that business from travel. So I was like, we need to make some money for him real quick. So I would do public investigations, and he got all the money. The only reason I make money off of this is because the guy is like, no, this is a business now. You and me are in business.
Well, yeah,
you give me your ghost
different
stuff, and I give you my building. And I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? I told him, I was like, I don't want any money. He was like, no, you have to take money, because I wouldn't feel right.
Right.
Like,
well,
so
I
get
money
and ghost stuff. Okay.
I mean, I was a part of the Kent Ghost Walk last year. And I emceed the Kent Paranormal Weekend, and I took money for it. I don't feel bad about it, because I was doing a little bit of extra work. But the Kent Ghost Walk, I was standing in front of a bank drive-through because at one point there was a haunted opera house there, but it had been torn down back in the 60s. Yeah.
Did you sing opera music then, or we just told you should?
Everybody told me I should.
Oh,
but I didn't. I already felt weird standing in front of a drive-through bank, and it's just random opera music. I mean, people didn't understand coming up to me why I was even there, because okay, so I'd open up welcome to the haunted. Yeah, I was like, welcome.
Give me all your
to
money,
the
punk.
Yeah. So the big joke, the running joke, the whole weekend was welcome to the haunted drive-through bank.
Right.
But I mean, it was cool, and I took, I had no problems taking the money. I mean, it's like you said, it was a business, and she was paying for our time to be there, and she knows that we always work hard when we're there, and people enjoy it. So I mean, so what?
People were going up to the ATM, and Ray was giving them ghost stories.
Yeah, right.
I would have been like, your money's haunted. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I'll cleanse it
$5 for a ghost story.
They're like, shit, man, I just want to go to the bar.
Right.
Extra $1 make you holler from Ghost Story.
Yeah, we had a few of those too. I had a few hecklers, walking around the bars down in Kent, because it's a college town. There.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It was my wife and the kids. Hey, loser! No, that was when I was the most nervous. I had no problems the whole night telling the stories and talking to people. Then my wife and kids walk up, and I'm like,
right?
I gotta impress. I gotta impress these people.
Michigan J Frog, ribbit. Instead of your hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime girl.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
You got to do the hands. Wait, where's it at? Wait, jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Yeah. Well, we just went off the rails again.
Were we ever on the rails?
No. The Cryptic Paranormal show. There are
We're
no
slightly
rails
adjacent. We're rail adjacent.
Yeah.
So
that's what I forgot to do, though. Yes, anything else that I'm going to forget, because I forgot to mention my show. Of course, I forgot to mention my show. So you can catch Storming the Unknown podcast on Paranormal Warehouse. You can catch the archives of it actually here on RU Media Network and on their YouTube channel as well. I have a ridiculous lineup coming up on Storming the Unknown. I'm actually booked solid until January.
Wow.
How do you do that?
Only because
I was like the week before, hey, dude, I need a guest. You want to be on?
So I figured, and because this is how I was before Oliver, I was like, I do 2 weeks in advance maybe, and be like, good. After I had Oliver, I was like, I need to get my shit together, and I need to get it together now. So
that's what we need to do, Goose.
And I emailed everybody who I either had to cancel for, because a lot of them were cancellations that I had when I ended up taking a hiatus from being pregnant early.
Yeah.
And a lot of those were fill-ins for the most part in the beginning. But then I've had in the last month or so, just so many people messaging me wanting to be on the show because they see other different things and topics that we talk about. So like, hey, I'd like to discuss this. So a lot of it, well, I didn't even have to do work, which was fucking awesome.
Nice.
That's my favorite when I don't have to do work.
Yeah.
So I have Nick Millay coming up this Monday. I have Justin Brown coming up on the 17th. I have Lizette from one of the Mississippi research paranormal team groups. She's freaking awesome. She's like, oh my God, she's just bitching. She's so badass. And then on August 31st, I actually have Santiago Cirillo, who was Julio in The Walking Dead.
Nice.
And he does paranormal investigations and stuff now and like horror movies. Yeah. So I have him on the 31st. On September 14th, I have Catherine Cirillos from the Warren Legacy Foundation. And then on the 28th, I have Sherilyn Carter, which I know you guys all know her. On the 28th of September, my haunted segment starts, where everybody's teams, whoever signed up, gets to come on and they share for like 30-40 minutes, like their best evidence. So then Cheryl's coming on the 28th, and then at 7, and then Fred's coming on at 7:30, Fred Scheidenberger. And then Josiah Lee Henson, a friend Steve Bartell, are going to be on the 5th of October, and then Sandy and Russ, you guys know them, will be on at 7:30. And then on the 12th, I actually have Brian Baum from Beard Paranormal.
Nice.
So he'll be on there. And then on the 19th, I have Daryl Marston. And on the 26th, I have Keith Bailey.
Wow.
And then that's all I'm going to give you for right now, because
Mike, so who's on next? That's awesome. It sounds like you got a great lineup coming up. So awesome job.
It is. It's pretty bitchin'. And you guys can catch my archive shows with Goose as my guest, and Kimmel as my guest. We've had lots of awesome guests, so don't just listen to the new ones. We've had some pretty crazy out there rabbit hole conversations. This one got more just like funny than it did rabbit hole-y.
Right.
But we got some rabbit hole.
That happens.
On the archive.
That's awesome. Well, it's about that time, kids. It's 10 o'clock. We got to get off. And unlike Ashley, I don't have any guests scheduled for next week yet, but we'll let you know. We always do fly by the seat of our pants.
Right.
But we'll have somebody amazing, I'm sure. Maybe. Yeah, I'll get on somebody.
If not, this is us three. We do fine.
Yeah. If not, it'll be me and Denise talking about Heisenberg when he can't hear anything for the first half of the show. But
she said yes.
Heisenberg is not invited here.
But
I thought about trying to listen to it on my through the Facebook, and then I was like, wait, it's gonna be delayed, and I'll be like, same shit.
Yeah. Answering questions 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Good night, Chris. Good night, Chris. All right. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for being on. It was amazing. Always fun time.
Thank you for having me, y'all.
It's always a party.
So much.
Always a party with the storm. Yeah. D-Nice, Heisenberg, have a good night.
We'll get Ashley on again so I can get a proper 2 hours of riffing.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have her on. Sure. Yeah.
Hey Heisenberg, Elmo said be nice to your friends, fuckface.
That was brilliant.
Just
I love it.
Elmo loves you.
All right, crypto heads. Crypto heads. All right, crypto heads. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We will spook you later. Have a good weekend.
Have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.